Hello YouTube. Here comes another review by BoneCarlos. Today we're going to be taking a look at Resonance of Fate. A kind of turn-based slash real-time RPG. One that really just gives a throwback to the older styles RPG in the form of story and presentation of how the game actually works. If anybody's played any kind of PlayStation era RPGs during that time, you'll immediately feel at home, a la Final Fantasy VII. If you haven't played that game, I'm sorry, you missed out on a great game. Go out and play it. So what I'm going to be going through is just a basic idea of what the menus give out, and then just pretty much what this game has to offer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get there. And there you have it right there, the shop. Very basic. Buy, sell. You got accessories, first aid, tools, weapons, parts, etc, etc, etc. Ha. But the big thing is that when enemies, instead of enemies dropping weapons, they do drop some kind of grenades and whatnot. But most of the time they drop items which you could scrap for parts. As you can see here, you could use those parts to take them to the tinker, who builds you your weapons and customization parts for your guns that you are able to purchase. Pretty much the other menu items are pretty basic. There's the different type of weapons you have. You have two options to put. You could put it either you got two options. You got left hand and right hand. So you could either put a handgun and a machine gun, or you could put a handgun in the grenade box or the first aid kit box. It all comes into play. You got to really think about what and how you want to equip your characters as you progress. You also have two accessory slots, and they just give you basic passive abilities, nothing too fancy. And this is what I was talking about, the customization. You could turn a regular gun that isn't really a big deal into something huge. As you can see, this is after 30 hours of gameplay right here. You start off with the normal gun, and then you just keep adding to it, and it pretty much just boosts the time it takes for you to aim, lock onto a target, the accuracy, and how many bullets you could pack into that gun. And it gets to a somewhat of a ridiculous point, but it's all in the nature of this game, where high-flying John Woo style gunfights are the name of the game and the norm. So there you go. I have 17 barrels onto it into a handgun. Isn't really realistic, but still, it's a lot of fun to do when you're customizing. You also have your mission menu, very basic, what you got to do, where you got to go, and which ones you've done. So like I said before, all the menus are very basic, very simple, and you'll understand them if you've played any kind of old school RPG, even the new school RPGs, really. And here you just got a pretty basic stat menu. As you level up in a certain weapon, you get pretty much boosts in what the weapon does. Some really cool ones: direct damage, knockups, stuns, etc, etc. Really great stuff. So here we're gonna go move over to the boutique, which allows you obviously to change the clothes your character wears. And what I really enjoy about it is not only changes it in the battle aspect of it, so when you're fighting enemies, but also in the cutscenes. So if you see my Lost Planet 2 review, you know that I love it when companies do this. It adds just a little personal bit of customization that you don't get from many other games. So from here on out, we're going to go into the overview, which is pretty much the biggest, I think, drastic change from an old school RPG. Is that you got these hexes, as you can see, and you get these hex pieces that you can place on the map to unlock new areas. Now, to get these hex pieces, you just got to beat enemies, and they'll just randomly drop them. You have regular ones, which clear out the white ones, and you have colored ones that you use to break apart the colored hexes that you see there. You might want to be tempted to use them all up at the early game, but don't. You'll run out quickly, very quickly. So from there on out, we're going to go ahead and move over to the battle aspect of it. As you can see, there it is. This is what it is: real time / turn-based strategy, and you do some crazy stuff. I don't want to get into too much detail on this because this really in-depth and really makes you think. It isn't no simple, oh, click A, do a power move, and you'll be good to go. You gotta be able to figure out the spacing of all the characters, where what all the characters do, where they're at, what items they have equipped, how much health you have, how much time. You have to throw it all and just understand it all to be able to be successful at this game. Because this game isn't for the faint of heart. It's not going to be one where you're going to be able to breeze through this no problem. I've been playing games damn near my entire life, and some of the points were just I just wanted to smash my head up against a wall. They were so difficult. And it wasn't a cheap kind of difficulty either. It was a difficulty where if you looked at it and looked at it from a different way or tried a different thing, it worked. But to get to that point, that's where you wanted to shove your face through the wall. But aside from that, I really enjoyed this game a lot. The graphics were up there. I mean, they were some of the best I've seen so far, especially with the character models and the world. I know a lot of people didn't like the color palette of the world and the texture, saying that they were, drab or just pretty much monotone. But from the story aspect of it, they were living in a giant steel tower. There's not going to be rolling hills, ice caves, pinks, blues, greens in the world. There's just not going to be. So I believe that was just fine with me. I don't believe anything. That was fine with me. But on topic of the story, that's where I really drew an issue with it. Not the story itself. I love the story. The story was great. It dealt with a lot of serious tones, and there was a problem. Because it dealt with a lot of serious tones, the main characters, but especially the leader of Vacheron, he was really comical in there. How it was a lot of lowbrow cutscenes into it. I don't understand why they would put them in there. I understand trying to get a little bit of, just a little bit of humor into your story and into your game, but it went so over the top that it was just really felt out of place and awkward for me. But other than that, if you're on a really solid game, a really solid long, not in a bad way, but just a long RPG, then this is going to be a great game for you. The only problem is trying to find it at a decent price. The best price I was able to find it for was $17.99 used on Gamefly, but just for the 360. For the PS3, it was $27. Anywhere else, you're going to be paying that price. Any other website in their store, it's going to be $27 used, and new, it's still $59.99. If you get it for around $25 used, I would say definitely go for it. It's worth the price. Other than that, I wouldn't go so far as to buying it new. But there you have it. Do you guys have any other games for me? Any games that you guys would like for me to review? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. I know I got Castlevania Lord of Shadows still to do, but hey, you know what? Don't blame me. Blame Gamefly for not sending it to me. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.